Yeah, sorry. We're also going to be having New Tokyo. We're also going to be having Modest joining it. Wait, stop laughing. So what's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Damn Show. It's episode 10.
Woo!
Episode 10. Double digits. Pump it up.
Pump it up.
Let's go. Yeah.
Like always, we have Diamond Hands. Diamond Hands, how you doing?
What's up, everybody? Enjoying beautiful Saturday. The weather's looking lovely. About to go out on a hike when we get done here and make it happen this afternoon. Get out and touch some grass. How are y'all doing?
Love to hear it. I'm doing fantastic. I'm in my bunker in my undisclosed location still. Maybe Netta, how are you doing?
It's funny, this undisclosed location thing. Yeah, I'm doing great. The weather is amazing in New York this week. And I went to see some opera live in the park yesterday. It was amazing. And just enjoying the end of the summer and, can't wait to start a new academic year. That's how we call them. I love September. It's also my birthday month. And it's a month of restarting. Yeah, exactly. Your birthday month too. 10 KTF birthday month
too. For real. It's all three of our birthdays this month. Yeah.
No.
Oh my God, the damn birthday.
Are we gonna do that? I mean, happy birthday to each of you. Are we gonna dox our birthdays here? Is that what's about to go down?
Yeah, I can dox my birthday, no problem.
What day is your birthday, Netta?
Netta, you go first.
I'm 19.
Diamond, what are you?
23rd.
Oh, that's my sister's birthday. I'm the 10th.
Okay, we got you first,
19,
then me, and then Diamond.
Yeah, wow. And Diamond, I had no idea. I knew maybe Netta and I shared a month, but you too. That's incredible.
Wow. Love it.
Okay. We're going to have
Virgos.
Plus his 10 KTF's birthday this month too,
Yes.
right? Not forget about that.
They're the 17th. So it's the
14
10th,
days away.
1923. Wow, that's crazy. We're going to have to do a birthday episode for all of us where we all get cake. And we're going to sing each other happy birthday. I feel like if we actually do it on the 17th, I don't know what day 17th is. I think that's a Thursday. So we could just do it on the Thursday.
17th is Saturday.
Oh, perfect. 17th is Saturday. That's when we record the damn show. So
we're having a cake day.
And then it's going to come out to the 19th, which is my birthday.
Exactly. So it's perfect. Wow. Amazing. Okay. So birthdays all around the damn show. We also are going to have Modest from New Tokyo Rumours joining us later today. Modest is also running 10KT FM alongside ABOB. And so we're going to be hearing about all the things that Modest and Sasquatch and Maggie and Press, Brennan as well, of course. So we're going to be hearing from all of them and to see what they're up to and see what they have planned for the 10KTF community. So let's jump in. Okay, so we've all recovered after that crazy week. We're a little bit more centered. I don't know if we had an episode. We haven't. So Diamond, first of all, congratulations for the victory. Very, very well deserved. Very, very well done. How do you feel?
I feel good. Like you're saying, to be honest, y'all haven't even got like a thank you out on my Twitter yet. Like my life has been in a whirlwind still. And so like, this is like my first day today that like I have a chance to like breathe and chill. I'm going to go on that hike later and then I'm going to work on typing a little something up just to say thank you to the people. It's a really important piece of closing this whole journey out. And shout out to everyone who's been watching the shows along the week. Y'all basically got the acceptance or whatever it is, the speech out over that bit, but I'm really excited. I got to get out the words. It's important that we do that follow-up, making sure the people on the other end know how much we appreciate them too. But shout out to everyone who did the damn thing out there, voted for all three of us, right? An incredible election, to see something that could have divided our community, bring us together so much stronger than it could have been otherwise, right? Like in this political age, to watch the love happen and all of that, like, that's the spirit of WAGMI. I couldn't be more proud of our community. And thank you to each of you. Y'all, your teams, I was worried. I'm not even going to lie. Ned is up there throwing judo kicks. Atareh is out here with the badges going on with the most hilarious video I've ever seen in the history of Everdom. Right? Like that sock throw. I mean, he was so confident winding that sock up. And when he let it go, it was wide right. And so like, for everything that is. I just got to say congratulations to you both as well. As a community, as a team, as the damn show, we knocked that thing out of the fucking park. So I really feel like everyone was a winner.
Yeah, we really put on a show. But interestingly, and we have to obviously talk about this, only the winner got a badge. And so I think that was a way for the team telling us that while WAGMI is all great, sometimes you need to pick a winner and go hard on that. Maybe. Do you have any thoughts or comments about the badge and the ending of that mission? And then we'll jump back to Midoriland after that.
Like the fact that, okay, we had one badge and Diamond had 2 badges. So first of all, I want to say sorry to my family because they put their loadout on me and they lost 1 badge. So WAGMI-san, if you can apologize for that, please, because my brother is missing a badge because of this.
Memo's upset, huh? Or WAGMI Memo.
WAGMI Memo. Yeah, because he has an Oni and then 1 weapon and 1 pair of socks that they go with the same Oni. So he put all on me and now he misses a badge. I'm so sorry for that. But besides this, it was very interesting to see that a lot of speculation going on here again. It's kind of they want to ease in our minds the fact that we are gonna compete in the future or that we're gonna be choosing someone over someone else. Someone is gonna lose, someone is gonna win. So something that we haven't seen happening yet in Battletown, it happened and it's gonna be happening even more in the future when we will have to make important choices. So your choice, it's important because you can end up like my brother missing a badge, right?
And so when you think about the strategy of that, it makes sense to, if you want to bet hard on somebody, go for it. Go 80% on one person or one mission. And then to just hedge it, put 10%, 1 and 1, 10% and 10% in like the other 2 possible missions. But it's kind of crazy that we what happened was for the first time before the captain's mission, we had 3 missions at the exact same time. And then we had a new mechanic of picking from one of the captains to load up behind. And then now we have another 3 mission block where we already know that the one that has the most points is probably going to get the reward, whether that's a badge or if it's another ape coin drop. We don't know yet, but that's unfolding right now. And so you really have to kind of keep your pulse on what's happening with the 3 missions and load out accordingly. And one other thing I want to say about that, and I'm going to be making a video later on today. I know there's a lot of sharing going on for this mission of like PFPs, but somebody pointed it out in one of the servers that I'm in that, I think it was Fake Eye. He's going to be testing it. He said that, what if I just sent my PFP to a separate wallet and then link that on cold to the person who I want to lend it to? Sorry, let me repeat that. What if I send a PFP that I own that I want to share with somebody else so that they can load up for the mission? What if I send that to a separate wallet and then link that using Warm? That actually should let you actually let somebody else use your PFP without you actually giving them ownership. And so I think that's why the team launched Warm right now with this mission. It's so that somebody would figure out that, hey, you can do this, and then this becomes a de facto way to share assets. So if we had Warm when the tools were being played out back last November, then this would be the safe way to do it. You put your tool in one wallet, link with Warm with the person who you want to share with, then they can go to 10KTF and act as if they have that tool and craft with that. So I'm going to be testing that out, and if it all looks good, I'm going to be making another video and releasing it through Dijon University. So it'll be Monday when this drops. So
just don't test it with Swilson's Meby, Atareh. All right. Love you, Swilson. No,
she kills me.
Amazing point, those scammers, right? So what we've had going on historically back in October when we were all sharing tools, right? We worked that flawlessly through our community. We built that level of decentralized trust. It's one of the pillars of our community, to be honest, looking back at that honor that was instilled in what we were doing. And so to see this whole new wave of PFPs trying to shift at the last minute, shout out to Swilson, who sent me her wizard, right? She sent me a wizard so I could get into group 1.
Love you, Swilson.
For real.
She sent me a ship.
amazing, holding the whole community down all the fucking time, right? That being said, just some things going on there where we saw Bert J. There were like 4 Bert J's that were in the chat, right? So like we're seeing now scammers come to play in our playground, and I guess we just can't have nice things, you know, unfortunately. But you know, making sure Press did a great thread that was talking about, you know, making sure you're talking to the person that you think you're talking to, working multiple levels of security and identity in that Discord, so we're not getting fooled by an I instead of a capital I instead of an L. You know, seeing some of the scammers that are out there, it's getting pretty technical, and seeing them moving into 10KTF. Great point, and I couldn't be more happy to have some sort of a shared asset where we can use that warm wallet to remove some of those security concerns.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge, and I think that's going to really make things way safer in Battle.net. It should become the de facto way to share going forward for any NFT project, should that, you know, become like a use case. Let's talk about Midoriland, because Midoriland was incredible. Oh,
you know,
the music, the videos, the logo, like all the little videos, even the one that Midori posted on her Twitter. Let me pull that up because I want to really talk about just how incredible all that was.
Hey, we all got a Midoriland bracelet. That's not an accident, right? Y'all know that, right? Like, everyone got a Midoriland bracelet. Not everyone got my turntables, right? Like the turntable. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, people that didn't sign up for Team Diamond Hands. But like everyone got the Midoriland bracelet. That's alpha for us.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Okay, ready for this? I love this music too.
Awesome.
Love that. And then let me go to Wagmi-san's tweets, because the videos, they were short this week, but like maybe you said it a while ago, you love it when they drop videos. The videos are so good because the music, the mixing, it's so well done. So it started off with this one. Let's play this. So we have the Sage getting flown in on the helicopter, and then we had then everybody went on stage. So this was cool. So we have Midoriland featuring Atareh till the Kaiju collapses, and so on the live stream, or on the Discord rather, we had my song playing, and the Kaiju doesn't look too impressed. He's like, yeah, that's cool and all, it's fine. I also want to note that this is the first time anybody from the community was tagged by Wagmi-san. So the 3 of us got tagged, and that was pretty cool. And we actually saw the benefits of that, because a fake Wagmi-san account was retweeting tweets, and because we were tagged, we caught it early
and reported.
Yeah, exactly. So that was funny. And then we had Midoriland featuring Meby song 2, not 10 on the 10, and it was rocking. And Kaiju still not looking too impressed, maybe a little bit more, but still like, it's fine. And then Diamond Hands GMI featuring the OGs, Midoriland featuring Diamond Hands, and the Kaiju is ready to rock, baby. He's like, let's freaking go. I'm coming in hot. And then we got this video, and I just want you guys to pay attention to one quick thing here, because I've rewatched this at least like 20 times. Just the sound mixing on this is so well done. I'm so impressed by it. So let me play it.
Beautiful.
One more time.
Sound shifts with the action of the camera. You can hear the sound like through the camera motion. Even I totally.
And then even the filter that they put on it when it's pointing away, and then when it turns, like it's so good. And then we get this. Diamond Hands, your song successfully put the Kaiju in a resting spot, so he fell asleep. And I want to go to 10ktf.com, because on the website now the Kaiju he's sleeping.
Yeah, with a blanket.
And I can't tell if that's a nightcap or not, but it kind of looks like a nightcap.
Yeah.
I see that and I'm like, that's pretty cute. Like, he's not so bad. Look at him.
Even if it just destroyed the whole city. Like, there is nothing left. Did you see? Like, even the Oni Tower that has been there for like many weeks. Now it's gone, even the Oni Tower. So we got nothing left.
Gutter Cat Gang still has a basketball court and a skateboard little ramp, it looks like, if you want to get down, right?
Oh, yeah. Down here. Yeah. Okay. So we got something going on still. We're doing okay.
Not really. Not really.
It looks, it doesn't look so good.
So that was, let's think. That was pretty much most of it. Then we had a Boss Ape come into the Discord. We're going to finish up with the Boss Ape section. Okay, so then we had Boss Ape show up in the Discord. And what's actually cool is that we saw it on the live and we started tagging him. And then because people are watching the live, they started tagging him, and then the copy pasta became tagging Boss Ape. So that's all on the live if you want to go back and watch that. It's about 2.5 hours in. But a new channel in Discord opened up, and then it was called Motorcade. And we had a bunch of cars on the Discord, the sound of that go through, and those GIFs being posted by the shopkeepers who are acting as security. And then we started getting a bunch of cameras like paparazzi. And all of us were like, is that a snapshot? Is what's going on here? And I still think that could have happened, but all the snapshots were going through, and then Boss Ape shows up, and I'll pull up what he said this on Discord, but they also posted it on Twitter afterwards. So it starts here. Welp, it's kind of BS that the kaiju falls asleep to the most fire wavs. But let's take the W. Now focus. We creep while he sleep. Evacuate the all citizens to safe place. Is that a typo, or is that what happened here?
Yeah, I think they meant to say all the. Someone in the shop fucked up on their typing.
I wonder if that's what it was in the Discord as well, and nobody picked up on it. We'll check that. We'll check the tape after. But then he says, mobilized by community, show up the most to get the highest reward. When the kaiju wakes, we hold the line. Won't be pretty. Keep the kaiju in place for Wagmi's creation. Fight there. Work together and split up into task 4. Definitely static.
That was funny.
All the flamethrowers, definitely static. And then if FOMO stub is think about mech, and then we'll be saved. Thank you and good night. So we got a lot of definitely static, and then Boss Ape pieced out. So maybe let's start with you. Thoughts, feelings, concerns about everything.
Okay, I want to first of all say that it was so cool to do the live during that moment, because after we ended our live, I realized that the Motorcade channel disappeared. So if any of you want to actually see what happened on Discord and experience that in the way we experienced it, fortunately we have a live that you can go and check, so you can see what actually happened that day. And that made me very happy, because I felt like there was something special for the audience, the community. If they really want to go back and see it, we have our live for that. But besides this, that was cool. I loved it. It's like, again, they have been able to create a story using different platforms, putting Twitter, putting Discord, the music, the sound, this and that. Boss Ape has been forever. Like, we've been waiting for Boss Ape to interact with us forever, right? And it finally is a character on Discord. So this was super cool for me. I love that now we can tag him on Discord. Like, we have Boss Wolf, we got Boss Toads, and now we have Boss Ape as well. And yes, the fact that we have to divide by PFP, that's big. Like that's changing again the cards. It's changing the game. It gave me a bit of sadness, if I have to be honest, for the people that don't have a PFP at all. So the people that were relying on blank avatars, that they cannot join the mission.
Yeah.
But I like, there is a reason why they are doing it. I don't think this is the end of blank avatars. Probably they're going to come back in future missions, but also they want to remind us another time that PFPs are important and avatars are important, because we know that in the terms of service, like from the beginning of Battletown, we read that blank avatars were going to have either less rewards, or they weren't going to be able to participate in 100% of the things that Battletown was going to offer in the future. So we knew that that was going to happen at one point, and we saw it happening with this mission. But like, I was lucky, like Damon said, I got a ship from Swilson, so I'm gonna be able to join all the missions. And yeah, like, I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen with this.
Diamond, how about you? Just
for me, looking at what Boss Ape said, like, why did he come out and do a campaign speech? Why did that feel like a campaign speech? Like, thank you and good night at the end of it, in front of the microphones, right? Like, that didn't feel like Boss Apes in the middle of a fucking war zone, like, send in the fucking OGs and drop that beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's more your style. Like, when I was hollering at the general and OGs, like, you know, being in the fucking heat of the battle, right? And so, like, I think that there's something there additionally where, like, that's too calm for whatever we're approaching right now. And I know we need to move silently as a group, right? But to be trying to set up the troops in that order and then say thank you and good night afterwards, that doesn't fit, to be clear. Like, in a narrative sense, it just doesn't fit, right? So keeping an eye on what's going on there for sure. We also know, looking back at Figgy's mech, right? Like with Figgy's ape on it. Figgy's, we haven't identified him as directly as Boss Ape yet, but I mean, I think Atareh's mentioned a few times, there's some language style there that is identical.
Yes.
You know? So we'll let him dive more into that in just a second. But for me, I just want to cover that piece what Netta just said about we're starting to see fractions start to form, right? And I don't think it's an accident. Right. I don't know if y'all remember, but I mean, I track all the team socials, right? So Tim Smith put out a tweet the other day that quoted Paul Billings, which is the shop sweeper. And he said, I like evolution, right? And then evolution. And then Paul Billings put a reply on that said, and transformation, right? And so watching, like, wherever this team's at, I think that's an indicator, like, low key, right? If we're watching all the visual stimuli possible, right? Like, that's a conversation, a we knew conversation that's happening, obviously, right? In between the team members publicly on social media. If nothing happens by accident, for whatever that is, watching them talk about the evolution of this, right? And then see this Uncle Negme, right? Not everyone's going to make it, right? Like, that's Negme in all this, right? Well, so, like, this Negme style entering in what we're doing, where we've been running on WAGMI ethos to date, where everyone's included. We're always looking for the next opportunity to get someone else in. And then all of a sudden, bam, y'all got to choose a captain, choose just one person, not everybody. Like, thank goodness as a team, we got so much love on the damn show. That's how we do the damn thing. And we spread that around, right? But, like, if we didn't have that same ethos, and it's like, no, hey, let me tell you about Atareh real quick. Let me tell you what Netta said the other week, all right? Let me just tell y'all, okay? Right? And so, like, those pieces, I was really surprised y'all didn't bring up that dirt that you guys had on me, to be honest. I know y'all got dirt on me, right? So
look, that debate was so wholesome. I was trying to make it a little bit more spicy, but then it's like Diamond Hands is like, we should all just, guys, spread your votes. And I was like, God damn it, Diamond! Like, I want this to get spicier. Throw some dirt on me because I'm ready to go. I can't. If I just do it, I'm gonna look like a maniac.
and now we got to split PFPs, right? And so, like, seeing all this play out, like, like Netta just said, the people that don't have PFPs, we've always said, whether you've got one item or 100 items, we're all gonna make it, whether you've got a PFP or not, right? That's what we're about out here at 10KTF. And now to see that offshoot, I don't think it's a larger spectrum concern, right? To be honest with you, it's not something that's concerning me for the long term. It's something that I'm definitely keeping an eye on right now to see how it plays out moving forth. And then just my own personal thing, y'all, looking at the way that these numbers are working out on this next mission, y'all, keeping an eye on Group 2 and the WoW Gs that came through tough, right? We know the apes came through heavy, and the apes have a lot of build. They got a lot of work, right? And the Onis are with the apes, which like keeps an eye on those two groups for me. But knowing that like the goodies are only going out to one group, y'all, make sure we're choosing the right loadout this time around for sure, right?
Yeah. So I think I have a few comments on that. One, we have Boss Ape saying pretty much the same memes and language that Deej Figgy has been using this whole time. So, I mean, sorry, Deej Figgy, but the groundskeeper is the big boss. You can't hide from me. You may be using the Gucci PFP on Discord since March, but I'm very sus of you, my friend. I'm very, very sus of you. I got my eyes on you. Second, I'll say is that the earlier point about Warm, I think that the team works in ways that will show that even if literally it's not everybody can participate, there still will be an opportunity for you to participate because we're being provided the tools. It's just a matter of like us formalizing and actually using the tools. And so I expect Warm is going to become a pretty big part of the whole story and the whole ethos of 10KTF. This will just be one way that we can use it going forward. But I think there's going to be other situations that's going to involve that, because I think what Boss Ape said, where he started getting definitely staticked, what he said was all the flamethrowers, and then he got cut out, and then he said all the FOMO swords. And so what he's actually saying there is that what I think is that eventually there's going to be a mission where only flamethrowers need to be, because they need to burn something, and then only sock doorknobs are going to need to be on one mission. And so like if somebody has an extra sword or a flamethrower or a doorknob, then they can lend it out through Warm to somebody while keeping it safe for themselves. So a lot of interesting things that are kind of playing out right now, and I think we're really at a transition point in, I think, 10KTF, because we're getting near that 1 year anniversary. People said 2 weeks ago that welcome to season 2, so season 2 is already well underway, and it's like, okay, we're going to defeat the kaiju, and then what, the stories are going to stop? No, like it's going to keep going. Something else is going to happen. We're going to get new developments, and so it's a very interesting time for the project and just to see where the story's going.
I couldn't agree more. You're 110% right. When they switched over to We Knew Moments to We Knew Labs in the terms of service, they mentioned rentals. So there's renting of assets that are available within the terms of service of We Knew that have previously been established prior to Warm. So I think you just knocked that out of the fucking park, Atareh, if I was being honest. That lending and the rentals, and everyone's going to get that chance. Even if you don't have the PFP or the assets, there's going to be a chance and an opportunity for you to be able to work that through. And then, hey, I also thought about this when you mentioned Beeple. Hey, in 5 days, the fucking Beeple Crypto Caro 10KTF conversation goes down.
Ooh, yes, right? Prepare your questions.
We all got a question.
I'm going to have it all ready, y'all.
Yeah.
I think I might have to have Carl ask my question, because if he lets me talk to Beeple directly, I'm going to have to talk nasty to that motherfucker for sure. In like the sweetest way. In the sweetest way, you know?
Thank you for saying that, knocked out of the park. I love to hear it. I love hitting home runs. Thank you. Thank you. Without further ado, our special guest, Modest Dreams. I mentioned it earlier. Modest is part of New Tokyo Rumours and 10KTFM, bringing you spaces Thursday at 7 p.m. And with this new publication, we're excited to hear all about what him and the team is working on. So welcome formally to the stage, Modest.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Modest, how's it going?
Good. I know. Like, I can see Diamond Hands is like, oh, shoot, Modest doxed himself on some level. It's like,
I'm fucking mind blown. I am.
Yeah.
I was just going to say.
That. Yeah, I didn't tell you guys I was going to do that. Yeah, I was when you reached out to me, maybe, and you were like, "Do you want it? Would you be interested?" I was like, talking to Miss Modest, and I was kind of like, "All right, we can soft docs. Like, we got to fix the background because y'all have seen a very different version." But I was like, "Why not? You can't just have a weird like face. It'll look weird with everyone else." So anyway, happy to be here, y'all. Like, love this.
Yeah, happy to have you. I saw you came in the room and I saw that you weren't doxxed, and so I don't know if maybe or Diamond you can see the stage.
No, we cannot see
Oh,
the
okay.
waiting room.
Got it. Yeah, so I could see that, and I'm like, interesting. I'm like, okay. So Modest, welcome. We wanted to get your thoughts on some of the events that had just transpired just a couple days ago. Very quickly, how do you feel about all of that?
It's kind of crazy. Ben Mayer, BMW, you know, he's been on your show a bunch of times. He was on 10K TFM, and he had proposed this concept that the team was teaching us, and that all these missions are different ways that we're being onboarded. And as someone who grew up like with video game culture and always knowing like in original video games, you would spend like an hour doing that like tutorial mission. Like I remember the original Tomb Raider and trying to learn the controls of Lara Croft. Gosh, I'm old. And I'm like, is that what they're doing here? Is this just a really new, innovative way to onboard us to something else? And yeah, I love it. I gotta say, I love how much they either do revolutionizing a new concept, or they'll take something we've done and we're used to and package it in a way we've never seen, like the whitelist with the crates, right? We're used to whitelist grinding. We're used to having to be on a Discord to demonstrate, look, I'm loyal, please let me mint for something. We had no idea that those missions that we thought we were just doing for fun because there was a story attached and we wanted to be a part of it, were actually also a whitelist mechanic. Yeah, I love it. And I love the way they've brought all of you in. I had no idea that was gonna happen. Seeing you all animated, I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Like, honestly, I was like, and so sexy. Like, holy hell, y'all looking really good. Like, I'm very, very impressed. I was like, Miss Modest, if you got to leave me for Diamond Hands, I get it. Like that facial hair, mullet, the way it's working on the visual. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, by the way.
The visual is way better than what you're gonna get in real life. You know what I'm saying? I'm lucky to have that PFP. I'm using it in every public profile I have. I'm even sending it to my family for future family photos. Just edit that in and get me the fuck out of there. This ugly mug's gotta go. You know?
Yeah, that's probably where I would go too, right? I'd be like, so like Miss Modest would walk in and she'd be like, why is the wedding photo now an anime picture of you? I'm like, trust me, this is better. This will be love and people will appreciate this. At least I will. Yeah, no, it's been crazy watching the way they're doing the missions. And y'all were saying, I was listening backstage about how some enlistees, you know, who have blanks, they don't get to participate. But that's true and it's not, right? Because there is an opportunity for people to loan if they want to. And I'm not saying everyone should, and I'm not encouraging it, but like if you have a close friend, like for example, Bonsai Nate, totally I'm on Spaces and I'm like, I don't have group 1. I don't have a Pudgy. I've got 4 NFT. I got 4 parents. None of them are in group 1. And Bonsai Nate just pops on and goes, oh, you can borrow mine. Like really quick. And I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah, what's your wallet address? And I was like, sweet, here, you can have my like cool cat for, you know, for the time or whatever that it takes too. But it got me inspired. And then I was like, Elena, you know, I'm giving you chill chat. Like, do not lose chill chat. I'm giving you chill chat. So I feel like there are some enlistees who don't have parents. If they have friends, maybe that enlistee got a badge because someone they were friends with already, maybe there is an opportunity.
Yeah. And I said it earlier, I think I can't say for sure, but I think there's a safe way to do it with Warm, and I'll have a thread and video about that if all the tests go well later today for everybody to if they have a bunch of PFPs and they're not going to use all of them, then they have that opportunity. So Modest, tell us more about New Tokyo Rumors. We'd love to hear about how that came about and how it unfolded. For the people that don't know, newtokyarumors.com is a website that gathers all the media, all the resources, and puts it in one place where you can stay up to date with what's happening in New Tokyo, not just from the what's happening with the project, but also if there's a video by the community that everybody should watch, or if you know there's an election going on like we had a few weeks ago, it's running polls and getting people to comment on who they're voting for. And so it's a really cool way to keep a pulse in New Tokyo, similar to like, let's say, the New York Times was for New York at one point. And so love to hear more about how that
We're not the New York Times. Don't set that bar, friend. Right? if we're the New York Times, we're the New York Times during that controversial era, right? Like maybe, I don't know. I get a little bit more of a like, we're Deadspin back in day one. Maybe that's a bad reference. But like for me, that kind of like, we're all just really passionate. We love what we're talking about. And half the time it's like, hey, I got an idea for an article, and someone sends it in the group and they're like, that's great, do it. And then someone just writes it. And that to me is a really, really cool kind of like hub for information, because there's not really a cap on what you can write about. And we're all empowering each other and kind of giving each other ideas and seeing ways that we can build. So where it came about, because I'm just a lowly writer on the show. I mean, on the website, it was Brennan, Saskatoon Squash, and Maggie, who are all OG Grail members. In fact, really well-known OG Grail members. And Brandon's a little newer, but Maggie and Sask have been around forever. And Saskatoon Squash, if I'm not saying your name right, I'm sorry. So I'm just going to start saying Sask. We'll go with that. They had kind of gotten together and talked about how can we give more information, right? Like we know we have community spaces. We know we have the Grailed. We know we've had times where like Diamond Hands used to do his daily letters. We've had all that, but where is all this information getting centralized? There's a lot of benefit to centralization, but there's also a lot of benefit to being centralized. And I don't necessarily mean like knowing someone, but in a way that people can come together. And so New Tokyo Rumors was really Brennan, Maggie, and Sask. And I think maybe Press was pulled in with me towards later on, but it was let's create a kind of site that is curated in a way for our 10KTF audiences. And if people just want a place where they can hop in on the daily just to see what's going on, it's there. It also provides a real good archive of information. So they built it all on their own, nothing to do with myself. And they reach out to Press, myself, President, and I think Diamond Hands at one point just to see. And they were like, hey, this is something we're doing. Is anyone interested? And I'm a nerd that jumps into everything. So of course I was like, I love writing. Yeah, I would love to do this. What can I do to help? And I'm so excited about everything the community is doing, not just New Tokyo Rumors. Like for me, New Tokyo Rumors is great because one, the writing is just phenomenal. And I'm not talking about mine. I mean, the writing from Sask and Press and Brennan, their articles are actually really insightful. And then they've been putting in their time to add images and pictures and videos and links. I'm sure you all saw the one Sask did on the campaign, right? Create Debate. Those were awesome. There were so many good source links if you wanted to go deeper down the rabbit hole to your sites. And I think that is really like the impetus behind it. How do we create a platform that elevates other people's community efforts? In similar to the way that the Damn Show has done such a phenomenal job. And I love that y'all bring other people on to let them talk about what they're doing in the community as well. It's that idea of, if I have a platform, how can I now leverage that to help someone else get a platform? Because then they're going to leverage it and do it as well. That's what our community is built on. Wagmi-san's idea of not only sharing, but someone giving something to you freely without request, and then you feeling, I don't want to say compelled, but just emotionally pulled to do the same thing, right? Not in an obligatory way, but in a wanting to do that. And so that became an instance where it was, we can share art, we can share writing, and then we can also share other people's like community spaces. You've got New Tokyo News on Sunday. Y'all have the Damn Show on Mondays and streaming on Thursdays now. You have Keegan's thing on Tuesdays. There's a lot of content. There's just an insane level of content. It's great. And you don't want to get to a point where we start fracturing or become competitive against each other, because it isn't necessary.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's what's been happening in the bear market. All the NFT projects have taken knives to each other. And it's not that fun, we're going to flip you. It's that, no, I don't want you to exist anymore. My project has to be the one. It's like, wait. We're all early adopters. None of us should be hating each other. We all need to get to that next barrier. And so New Tokyo Rumors becomes that kind of avenue to elevate others, if you will.
Atareh, can we get the homepage going so that we can show people how it looks? Because it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Like first time when they told us that they were gonna start this, like no, when they were gonna launch it, like they told us like a couple of days before, and they gave us the link. I clicked. I was like, oh, what's this? Wow! Like when I saw it, I was like, this is amazing. I really love the homepage. How you created all the different sections, and this images are amazing. This is from Maggie.
Maggie's such a gifted artist. She's so gifted.
Yeah, so you can see the Midoriland, what happened. So if you want to catch up on what happened on Thursday, you have a great summary here. You have the lineup announced, this was obviously a community-made poster for Midoriland. If I just click into it, this was made by Alf and Bob Majon, and it's so well done. We talked about it on the live stream as well. And so it's a great hub for just announcements and just to keep a pulse on what's happening in 10KTF and New Tokyo. So very, very cool. We have some guide here as well. So Crafting 101 and Battletown 101. And then you can see how to, do certain things. And then there's also collections that you can find the official links to go to straight to those collections. So I'm sure this is going to evolve as the team goes, and as the excitement around 10KTF grows. This is going to become more and more of an important piece that's part of the lore as things unfold.
Yeah, and Maggie is just so creative. Like that newspaper, I love that. Yeah, Ems. It is just so creative though. Like I remember she sent that to us, and it was like, oh, that's beautiful. That's really cool.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
That gives me that old vibe of a newsstand, which New Tokyo kind of gives me some old vibes at times. That kind of going back to a different level of socializing and interacting with each other.
And I think the important piece, what you said earlier, Modest, you know, the egalitarian support that we can give each other, whether we all want to recognize it or not, right? There is a little bit of competition that I've noticed going on in our community, just to be honest, right? Like it's there, whether we want it to be or not. And the team's trying to put it there even, right? Like with our damn show. So like the siloing off of these individual organizations is not to the benefit of anyone, right? We need to support each other along this journey and continue to give light. You know, this isn't to tap myself on the back here, but yeah, I mean, I started out writing those recaps, doing the spaces, firing them up on call, like people in the Discord. Diamonds, could you start up a space? Some new shit's happening in 10KTF right now. And it just got to the point where it's like, I can't do this anymore, y'all. I love y'all. And so with that, like to watch the community continue to look for opportunities to grow out of there. Like I had New Tokyo News. That's now Alf's thing, right? To be very clear. And I want everyone to keep thinking about that, the ego piece. What are you willing to give up along this journey to give light to other people into the future? Because I'm so proud of what everyone's doing. But there's also pieces of light that everyone's going to need to continue to give up themselves instead of trying to absorb that light. It's important in the ethos of WAGMI to continue to grow forth and continue the horizontal growth before we all try to launch vertically. We all need to be in symbiosis with each other, not siloed off into this larger creator era. And I think we have some amazing things going on. Jarode in our community, what he was able to do through looking at the data on Twitter when people was like, we need to get out of this sounding board in Discord. All of a sudden, next thing you know, we've got real-time data printed out from the activity that we can see on Twitter, where previously to that, I was entering in 10KTF into the Twitter and like scrolling through the latest to see how many posts a day we were getting. And the social traction was dying before people came in to get us out there into Twitter. And now look at the way it's absolutely fucking booming. I couldn't be more proud of the way people are stepping out in droves.
I think to your point, like the Beeple thing is interesting to me because I credit Beeple for catalyzing it, but I do not credit him for like people wanted to talk already, right? Like I think on some level there were a lot of people who want to speak, but they haven't found their voice yet. That's kind of what I love about Web3 and what I love about spaces. Like the damn show is so well curated. You know, y'all look like just, you got great room, great background, sound, audio mixing, you do the editing. Like that's not easy. Y'all put a lot of time into this. Where like spaces, I view it more as like, welcome to the practice room. You can come in and you can mess up, you can make mistakes, and you can kind of find your voice. And that's one of the things I love about Web3 is I personally love watching people find their voice. Like in my world, like I like it when people are empowered. I liked watching Keegan get excited and be like, I'm going to do a Tuesday educational. And I don't know if people listen. I think people might want it. I don't know if they want it from me. I don't care. I'm going to do it. And I just have deep love and I love empowering that because I'm like, just dive in. That's what Web3 is all about. Trial and error. What happens if you get rugged? You rugged yourself. We've all been rugged.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. It's funny coming on here. Maybe you had asked, you'd said, do you want to talk about what the community is doing? And so like I wrote down like 20 things the community was doing because I was like, I do not want to forget anyone. And I literally came up with about 12 different ones. Like
I guarantee you forgot 20 people along this journey all fucking ready off top because I've tried to do the list. It's fucking impossible. There are too many people doing too many amazing things to be able to, like I thought about even in my acceptance speech. I haven't given one. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to go through that full list going back all the way to Snow's OG badges where it all started. I've got to go back to September, y'all. It's fucking a long journey. And so, yeah, tell us some more about what you've got written down there and what the people are doing in the community, Modest. I know you took time to take those notes. Let's go.
No, yeah, so like 10KTFM, you all know about that. That's like our Thursday LARPing spaces. One of our ideas for that was to try and get people more excited. Brenswah's been getting involved. The general shows up. You know, Atareh came on the other day, like, you know, deciding to try and get everyone to say Degent instead of Dagent, whatever. I'm going to keep pushing Dagan. I'm going to keep pushing my yeah. I almost had it. For the record, if you go back to that spaces, the person I was talking to was about to say it like I say it, and then you corrected them. And I was like, So there's that, and then you have New Tokyo Rumors, and then you have what Reverie is doing by, you know, Reverie is this character Maggie's built that I love because it's a multi-medium story. She's kind of disseminating the story through Twitter, but then if you go to her website, the Book of Reverie, you realize it's all in one. And there's like this full story that you can have packaged and read completely. And then she's also selling some hoodies that Reverie wears. It's such a great way to monetize that IP and to really say, look, I'm putting a lot of value into propping up this community and myself. This is how we can support each other. That's one. You have Keegan doing his educational, like I said. We have New Tokyo News on Sunday. Wisdom does his podcast, which honestly, I think we got to get him to go back to doing those because I haven't heard a Wisdom podcast in a while. And I feel like
he got the new one.
Did he just drop a new one then?
There is a new one about the captains and everything that happened with the election. So watch that. It's called the Wagami Podcast.
Yeah. So that's
Maybe
another.
Sorry, just to jump in real. Do they have subtitles on that now, or
they have subtitles? Last time I watched it, they had subtitles. I don't know this last episode if they have it because I still have to watch it. But it's in Mandarin. But usually you can add subtitles. Yeah.
Yeah, which is what I would need. I don't speak Mandarin. I barely speak proper English.
We need more cultural bridges real quick before we move on too fast. Love that that's in Mandarin. We need a Spanish outreach, y'all. We need more cultural bridges to be built here. We need to continue to think intersectionally and how we can, like, for your culture, for your group, how can you uplift and provide that voice? Because we don't want to provide non-native voices to these cultural groups, but we want to be able to onboard. That's the ethos of WAGMI, bigger than this NFT shit right now, y'all. That's how we end up growing sustainably, is bringing in folks from the outer culture, right, that aren't already NFT native. And I love what Herb does with his Spanish podcast. Like, he does a bilingual space that, like, makes sure that people can chop it up in dual dialect. And I think that's just a great opportunity for onboarding and bridging as we continue to move forward. So I just want to encourage everybody out there that does speak another native language to continue thinking about building that bridge and how you can do that for your culture as well.
I was going to jump in and say, yeah, like, since I'm sure people can tell, but like, I'm Pakistani. And since I said that, or I wrote it down on a letter, so many people in the Discord are like, oh, no way, you are? I am too. And people that I've spoken to so many times. And I'm like, shit, guys, like, say something, because it's nice to hear things like that. So I think like Polaris and Fear and a few others that I've spoken to a bunch are like, oh yeah, like here's me doing this trip in Pakistan from the north and to the south on a train, like, you should check it out. And I was like, this is amazing. So yeah, really encourage that.
Yeah, I didn't even know Polaris did stuff like that. He is so creative. He's another one. Like, I can't. That's the other thing. There's a lot of people doing like character arcs on Twitter. You know, Polaris, and then you have New Tokyo Roommate, New Tokyo Citizen. People we don't know who they are necessarily. Everyone is finding a way. Basically, 10KTF has inspired people to use their IP, and that to me is like what. That's the biggest thing that I've been waiting for. You hear all these complaints about how, like, we have to go to CCO because no one knows how to use their IP, and this is how we build. And it's like, this is year 2, people. For a lot of us, this is year 1. I've only been here for 10 months. I know how to use IP because I'm creative, but give people time. Demonstrate how they can do it, and they'll do it. Stop assuming people are stupid or unqualified or incompetent just because you haven't trained them yet. It's the whole point of empowerment. As we empower these spaces, more people keep jumping on to do their own. More people write their own stories. You create a master class of education on what storytelling in a project looks like, and other people are inspired to do this. Okay, wait. So 2 more. Then you have 3 more. Dagent and President have been tag teaming. So they haven't like Dagent and Press. I had a feeling a Spaces was coming with them. Like, I don't know that, but I watch and I notice they are a really good co-host. And they play chemistry off each other. And so sometimes they'll do impromptu spaces, which are just amazing if you get a chance. Crypto Dilly and A-Bomb are about to do Speculation Alley, which is another YouTube show, going down really deep rabbit holes, which I am so excited for. Crypto Dilly is like the king of conspiracies and speculation, and A-Bomb is, I mean, if we're getting YouTube A-Bomb, man, that guy's so good looking when he's tanned. I mean,
after a Diamond Hands.
Yeah,
there is only one king of speculation.
Yeah,
I want to ask Atareh, like,
it's
Atareh,
decent, but
you mentioned, I mean, you did Dagon University, you know, which was a really valuable resource. And I knew that you put so much time into it. I don't know if it got the level of traction you were hoping it would, but to this question of like what he's talking about, you've already been in that lane of like being a Web3 educator amongst others trying to be Web3 educators. How has your experiences kind of like helped, I guess, in this way? Right? Because like, how do you like, did you find that there were things you learned that when you approached 10K TF, it was like, this is what I have a better understanding of, or how I think it should be played or framed?
So it's a good question. I think I want to just address some of the things that Diamond is saying. One quick thing I want to mention is that to Diamond's point, what happens in I think any society is that you have models. You have models that people will look to and then mimic in a sense. And it's not a bad thing. It happens across the board. We all have our own models in our personal lives. Our parents play that in a huge way for us as we grow up. And then as you know, we go into our careers, we have aspirational models of like, who do you want to be like one day? And so it's not a coincidence that if in a community people start doing media and then that media starts getting traction, that a lot of other people also want to do that media as well. And one thing I will say is that media is just one form of creating and providing value. There's a lot of other avenues, and I think Weira is a great example of that, where he's a creator, he's creating resources when it comes to Rare Boy, and now he's doing backgrounds, and I'm sure he has a lot planned for that. And so it's like, I don't necessarily want everybody to feel like I have to get a show or I have to get a day for a Twitter space, because there are other avenues to do that. If you want to do that and that's really what you want to do, go for it. Nobody's stopping you, but just recognize that, is that like a thing that you've always wanted to do and now you're seeing a model that you can kind of go after and do it, or is that something that is being spurred because it seems like that's a way to get traction? And so that's the question that I would ask, and it's a very honest question that everybody needs to ask themselves. Modest, to go back to your question on with DOXXED University. So, I mean, that's still an unfolding project that's going to be playing out alongside. I don't think I'm ever going to be stopping that. But what I want to say is that the reason I was doing the daily videos was to practice speaking. So it wasn't necessarily to get a audience. I wasn't even concerned about the subscribers or the number of people watching. I was more like, I want to be better on camera and I want to speak better on camera. How do I do that in a way that keeps me accountable? Let me do daily videos where you notice that I did not edit them. I would just sit in front of a camera and I would speak. And that was purposeful. I know the format of it and the message would sometimes get lost, but that was part of the training and all of that. And so I think what I learned from that was that I think people value and recognize consistency, and people will see that. And even if you've been doing it for 30 days and nothing happened, sometimes day 30 when they're 32 or 33 is really when things take fold and things jump, because I have one video that really takes off and then that attention flows back to other videos. That's like a general thing. The second thing is that a lot of people watch but may not say anything until you meet them in person, because the responses that I got in person were like, oh, hey, Atareh. And it's like, I didn't know them because I don't know their face, but when they would give their Discord name, I'm like, oh yeah, I know you. And they'd be like, I love what you're doing. Stick with it. That's awesome. You're sharing some really valuable information. And so you're not going to feel the full impact of it necessarily, because it kind of just goes into this void on the internet, and not everybody that's getting value from it will always type or give you that feedback. So those are just some broad lessons that I learned in doing that. And I've been in full-time Web3 for just over a year now. So, I've been learning a bunch of lessons and navigating this as it plays out.
And that's such an interesting process, and I hope people hear that and it empowers them, because to me, I hear that, and what you're saying is, I wasn't afraid to fail. I was going to get up publicly and people were going to see me. They were going to see my face. They were going to hear me ramble at times, but I was going to put myself out there because I was just trying to get better. And to me, that's one of the greatest benefits of Web3 is I feel like a lot of the community, especially right now in this bear market where it's all loyal, people who got strong convictions, or we just got bags we can't let go of. And so now we have strong convictions, but it's great how we're all supporting each other and how you feel you can do that. And maybe it doesn't hit the data metrics, but you also have people that are like, good job. I'm watching, I'm here for you. Like, I love that, like Yelena, she's brand new, right? Like she doesn't have a PFP. She just got a crate from Swilson. Shout out to Swilson for being so amazing. And within 24 hours of Yelena, like she wasn't even in the Grailed yet because all she owned was a combat crate, right? Within 24 hours, she had joined the Discord and was literally calling herself Future OG, was building little, like, she has this thing called Yelena FA, or it's like 10KTF _ FAQ pics or something. And it's like she started making these little educational images. And it's like, why is she doing that? Because that's her. Because that's what she does. And y'all empowered her and made her feel like it doesn't matter if you've been in the group for a year or 1 day, get involved. That's a testament to what y'all are doing, right? That's a testament to the culture the community is propping up. It's maybe what Wagmi-san wants, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen unless the community buys into it. And I think that y'all have just done such a great job of that.
I think even as you say that, I would also say that don't underestimate the secondary and tertiary effects of your efforts, because even if you're doing something that, you know, maybe doesn't feel like is going anywhere, I think about the Damn Show, where the fact that Meby and Diamond do these spaces weekly, and Diamond was doing them for solo effort for a long time, and I was doing daily videos. That in combination led me to believe that it's like the three of us will do a show and we will be consistent and we will be professionals at it, because we're already doing some version of that, just in a different form. But it's like if those signals aren't out there, then I don't know, and maybe doesn't know, and Diamond doesn't know, that the three of us can come together and do this and you know, kick ass at it, because I think we're kicking ass at it. So it's like, don't ever underestimate kind of like the serendipity of your efforts, because in hindsight it all makes sense, but when you're in it, you're like, why am I doing this? It's like, for me, it's like, it'd be like, oh shit, it's 11 p.m. I haven't done a video, but I know what I want to talk about. So it's like, okay, go to my room and get it set up and fire up the ring light and speak and get it out before I go to bed. Why was I doing that? I was like, I mean, I'm practicing, but it led me to this, right? For me, I don't know if the A in the Damn Show would be there if I wasn't doing that on my end. So,
well, and I think to your point, putting Meby and Diamond Hands putting themselves out there is what gave you the confidence to be like, I want to do a show with them. Like, I know how to do the YouTube production side, but I don't want to go do this with someone who's not going to be able to carry their own weight. And I've seen them because they put themselves out there. So it's like, for like an example, when I was doing Ape Kids a long time ago, I was putting myself out there on spaces and messaging. And a guy by the name of Matt Wilson reached out to me, who's like this Pixar artist. And he's like, hey, I heard you on spaces. Would you help me with my art? Like, would you just help me get more recognition? And like, just because I want to know more. And I'm like, and now I have this amazing artist. I actually have one of his like 12 pieces personally that I own, right? Like, that my wife and I will never, ever give up. But that doesn't happen. That connection never occurs unless I put myself out there, and then randomly they reach out. And so I always say, just put yourself out there, especially in this space. I understand that people can be negative at sometimes, but I honestly think that a majority of the folks here in this space and Web3 and 10KTF are trying to do something different and support each other.
If I can add to the Yelena part, because I love that so much, what happened with her, because one of the things that makes us also so close to each other is because we can actually see ourselves in others. It's like what happened to her happened to me like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. It's not that, you know, I was her 4 months ago, you know. So when I saw her just starting, I was like, oh my God, finally, first of all, a woman. Yes, we need more. I was so happy. And second of this, that she immediately, like, she put out all this stuff so fast, like with a courage and, I don't know, a dedication that I didn't have. And see all the people that immediately, I hear the echo, sorry, it's annoying me.
Try again.
Okay, I'll try again. And seeing all the people that immediately were supporting her, because that's what happened to me. If it wasn't for the people around me that supported me, I wouldn't be here right now. Because when we started this thing, I told Atareh, English is my third language. Like, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. Like, are you sure that you want me also in that I'm good for doing this? I was insecure, obviously, you know. So hearing from them, like, are you kidding me? Of course we want you there, la, la, la. And helping me understand that maybe like there was a value in what I was bringing to the table, you know, that helped me get into this. But I needed help from others. I needed to be empowered from others. And that's why we have to give the same to other people, because they're also probably thinking that of themselves and putting down themselves, even if they are maybe not talking about me, but I mean other people. They're super talented in some things and they just need someone that pushes them, do it, do it, do it, and then they show to everyone that they're very good in what they do. And I've seen it a lot in the NFT space. Like some people, they're very hidden and they don't talk, and then you're like, did you, like Ri, for example, did you know that she was able to do all this stuff? Nobody knew. And then she creates this crazy video of my avatar, like badass avatar. Like I loved it. And nobody knew that she was so good at that. There are so many people like this in the NFT space. We just have to give them space, give them, a voice, like you were saying before, and they just, they're just talented, and then they get, this confidence, and they tell themselves, yes, I can do that. I can show more of what I can do. So this is also what I love about the NFT space and what's happening in this community.
Well, and I love really what you're speaking to is this. We like community is this buzzword now, and for a while it got thrown away as like it was just a sell. But I believe that we all joined this space because we did see an avenue for a new form of community, for a new form of belonging. And it's funny listening to what you're saying. Maybe what I hear is like the coolest part of Web3 is we see ourselves in other people. And we live in a society right now that is so fractured and divisive. And I'm not trying to get into those games, but it's so easy for us to say, you don't understand me. And what you are describing is a platform and a place where instead of us coming at it with, you don't understand me, it's, I see myself in you. Let's keep building more of this and find out how we have similarities. Let's find our commonalities. Let's grow. And the ability to kind of create those bonds is, it's cool.
So don't be afraid if things get a little heavy and everything that you're building right now, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Don't feel like you have to do it on your own. A lot of people are building shit right now, and just be willing to accept that help. Ask for it, and you have friends in our community always. And I think that's the most beautiful piece of all this, is we're going to grow together into the future.
I think there's the belief, and I do think it's a belief, but if you have that belief, then a lot of things fall into place for you. But it's the idea that instead of thinking of it like a fixed pie, it's a growing pie. And so as you grow the pie, like, if you believe it's fixed pie, then you feel like if somebody else gets something, then they take from you. And it's a very fixed mindset versus a growth mindset of like, I'm just going to keep growing this pie, or I'm going to contribute in helping keep growing this pie so that like it just gets bigger, and so that there's more for everybody else. And I still grow, but so does everybody else. I mean, the other way to say it is the rising tide lifts all boats, right? That whole concept. And so it really is, I think, an ethos and a belief that you have to have within your own life and in what you do. Because when you have that and you believe and you live from that place of abundance, then you will find that it's like all the other things fall into place, and you'll attract the people that resonate with that belief as well, and that mindset. And that's been true for me. It's like I don't think I get here if I don't genuinely truly believe that, because then if I'm shy about giving out anything, then, or if I'm too protective of it, then I don't lend that hand and I don't shout X or Y person out, and then that stops your growth and limits you. And then you can say, oh, see, I knew life is always like this. It's a fixed pie. But it's like, it's because of the actions that you choose not to take that gets you back in that same position in the first place. And so, yeah, like that's just one of the things that I think I've really continued to internalize.
I love what you're saying. This whole idea of when we get together, we can do more. Like that's unions 101, right? Like that's leverage, right? It's this idea that we realize that I have some level of agency and autonomy, but I have more agency and autonomy if all four of us bind together, because now I have a larger voice. And the more we do that, the more we can impact and elevate others. So like this idea of rising tides, rising tides is a really cool analogy, but the way it works in the real world is that when we help each other and some people lift each other up, hopefully they're lifting us up too. Like I really like the analogy of rock climb, like someone pulling someone up, and then when they're above me, they're pulling me up, and we just keep pulling each other up to the top. And that's why I love Web3. I think 10KTF has done such a great job of empowering the community in that regard and kind of showing us the benefit of that. For me now, it's how do we utilize it? Because there are leaders like y'all, and I guess on some level, maybe I'm considered a bit of a leader too in this space, even though I don't intend to be. How can we, use our platforms? How can we pull up new people? or people that haven't had a voice yet, but are really smart and brilliant. For example, maybe the person you just mentioned about like building your 3D avatar. How would we have ever known that? How would we have ever known that without the campaign thing, which is a nod to 10KTF for creating that meat on the bone, if you will, that provides the space, right? Like, yeah. And then for us, for taking advantage of it. And I don't mean like, haha, pat on back, but I mean like a little bit pat on the back. I'm really proud of the Grailed. I'm really proud of our community. I'm really proud of how every time I listen to a Spaces or the Damn Show or on Grailed or Twitter, where people are talking about other people. They're not talking about themselves. Yeah. You know, they're saying, did you listen to this space? Did you listen? And they're doing that because they're not afraid their voice is going to get shut out, because they trust that everyone else in the community will also be lifting their voice. That level of trust is something that just doesn't exist right now in Web 2, and it barely exists in Web 3. So I think the way that we foster it and the way that you all are fostering it is really why I always say 10KTF is going to do something completely different. You know, it's going to provide a utility or justification that people are not aware of.
Yeah, and I think 10KTF is doing something different. I think we're all testament to that, and how we're growing as individuals and as a collective. And yeah, I'm really excited for New Tokyo Rumors and how that flourishes. And
it's amazing. It's going to be so cool. And it's not just those. Like, I would say, if you're listening right now and you want to write an article for New Tokyo Rumors, like, reach out to us. You know, we have, if you want to be a guest writer, or maybe there's something that you love that involves writing. Like, my thought here is, everyone, to your point, Diamond Hands, we all have strengths, and it's starting to feel like maybe we're starting to feel a little competitive on the freeway. And I don't think we need to do that. I think the freeway actually has an extra 10 lanes. We just don't visually see it right now. And we just need to go, hold on. We're all fighting over the carpool lane when there's 4 other lanes to the right of us that we can be sharing. Let's work together. Let's find those spaces. Like, for me, I like writing. I like doing spaces. But what I really enjoy creative writing. Like, Chill Chad has a story. I've written several stories for him. I haven't released them yet, but that's what I find joy in. And I think for me, when I tell people what to do when they enter 10KTF, it's like, well, find what you find joy in. Don't be afraid or intimidated that because what you find joy in, someone else is doing as well, and they might do it better. Who gives a shit? It's not about who does it best. We are not competing against each other. If you got something you want to do it. And maybe Atareh and maybe the Damn Show is infinitely better than whatever YouTube show you would do. Who cares? We're not competing. It's 2 different perspectives, because I'm sure when I watch the Damn Show, I'm going to get that really professional, kind of just perfect, manicured, curated story. And then I'll watch YouTube that might be a bit more like Atareh's Dagon University practices. But guess what? I'm still going to learn something. And I'm still going to support you. Don't be afraid.
Especially if they enjoy doing it. That's the thing. That's the first step. The first step. Just do something that you like doing. We got into this because we were like, fuck, we want to talk about these things. We enjoy spending time together. And that's why I said yes in the first place, with all of my insecurity and everything that I was saying before. I said yes because I was having fun doing it. So yes, absolutely. I agree with everything you said, and just try to find something that you really enjoy and go for it. It doesn't matter if it's professional, not professional. If you have, like, I don't know, if you do it just for yourself, for your family, or for thousands of people, who cares? If you enjoy your time, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I think people, make it joy. Because to Diamond Hand's point earlier, and I think Atareh, you said it too, this can get tiring. This can be a lot of work, and it can start feeling like it's compensated. And
it's a marathon.
If you're doing it for fun, it won't feel as bad. You're not getting compensated. You won't be like, where's my money? Because you'll be like, well, no, I am getting something out of it. This is an outlet for me that I enjoy. And I think the moment it stops feeling that way, no one's going to hate you for pulling back. That's the other thing too. You can step aside like Diamond Hands did, and someone else in this space is going to step up.
And we're all human. While it's a technological venture, I think the important thing is the human pieces, right? And so ego, jealousy, these emotions that can come up, right? Like, it's totally human. I get it. But that being said, I'm not looking to come back and step into New Tokyo right over the top of New Tokyo Rumors, right? Like, that would be unjust, to be honest, right? I'm going to find a lane, a niche within all this to be able to take up a little more space on the freeway, right? And I think that's something that people should continue to try to do. It's not that you're looking to step into anyone else's lane, right? But maybe even reach out to them and make sure you're in communication and say, hey, I'm thinking about starting this up. Is there any way we could support together and work on this in kind of a cross lane? Is there an opportunity for a little crossover here in the future, you know? and continue to look for those opportunities to build bridges, continue to look for opportunity for those bridges, and don't step in. Like I'm stepping back in, y'all, but I'm not stepping on anyone's toes when I do it, right? I'm going to find something that's unique for me because I know enough about the history of all this to be able to find my own niche, right? And I'm good at a couple things that I've already seen that I've got to step back into. But it's not that we don't have other amazing community members that do great writing, that do great content, that do all this shit, right? And I couldn't be more proud of where this is going. And like you just said, if you've got a creative talent that we haven't discovered yet, like speak up, say something. Personally, I think we should start spreadsheeting this a little bit and like start actually working out where our community talents are. So when we need to reach out, we have the list of people from our community to be able to reach out to. So we don't have to outsource from outside the community when we get up and pumping with this stuff. I mean, monetization for any of us is a long ways out, y'all. Like, let's be honest, we're in the middle of a bear market. It's not like monetization is easy to come by right now in the middle of this market, right? So I think what Modest said is really important. Build for the long term in this. Really look into the future. It's not about the right now. Things are moving quick right now for sure. So I totally get everyone's jumping, but really see that 6 month, that 1 year vision. That's where the beauty in all this is going to be.
Yeah, and I think in terms of collaboration, I've already been in contact with Brandon, and so you'll be seeing a guest post on New Ticker Rumors from me very shortly as well. I think it'll be a nice just experience of what it felt like to be a captain. I feel like that's a unique perspective that I can bring that will add a lot of value to New Ticker Rumors. So expect to see that. And Modest, I wanted to just give you a moment as we wrap up to any final closing thoughts and anything you wanted to mention as we wind the damn show down.
Yeah, I guess I'll just say one. Thank you all for having me on. Even though that meant I have to soft dox myself, and so now people know what I look like. I can match a voice to a face. This has been just a real blessing in the same way that I would say 10KTF has always been, because 10KTF is a great story and a great project. But what really brought me into it was a community. It was Tails DMing me and explaining how my cool cat could do something. It was people letting me jump on spaces and kindly listening to me when I spit crazy, because clearly I'd only spent 2 weeks in the lore, so I didn't know what I was talking about. But people would still be kind of go, that's really interesting, Modest. Thank you for that point. Who else wants to go? And it's like, okay, maybe I'm crazy. But the opportunity was there. And so I guess it's a way of saying, I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate that the community that has formed and fostered is one that y'all haven't given up on. I know that 10KTF has always probably been communicative, so it's a little easier not to lose faith, but the floor also hasn't risen in the same level a lot of other projects did. And so I could see people over 9 months kind of wondering, where is this going? I think back to I came in April where it was really busy and things started to pop, but y'all have been here before April when things were not as busy, when there were some updates, but they weren't gaining the traction. And even so, you kept carrying the banner. And I don't know, a lot of us wouldn't be here had you not done that. So I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone who gives an opportunity. Like I said, it just put yourself out there. Don't be intimidated. Like, I'm 5 foot like nothing, right? So don't be intimidated by me. Like, if I can go out there and talk, you can go out there and talk, you know? If Diamond Hands can go out there with a mullet and be like, hey, this is who I am, then we all can. You know, I'm just kidding, friend. I love you. It's a great mullet. This is an opportunity. The one thing we have right now, more than we've ever had in the bear market, is a chance to experiment and fail and to really try. And I think this is the kind of community that fosters that you should try and let's do something.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate you all. And yeah, like I said, if y'all ever need anything from me, please reach out. I love helping, not just the damn show, but any other members of the Grailed. If you have an idea for something you want to do, please DM me. My wife tells me I say yes to everything. So I might not be able to say yes to everything as much as I've been, because that might be getting me in trouble, but I will certainly help you. And I will try to connect you with someone who can help, that does have the time, because I think these types of facilitations are really what's going to make this community go to the next level.
And on that, we're going to close out the damn show. So if you like that, everybody, please follow us at the damn show, like the video, subscribe, and you know where to expect us every damn Monday and every damn Thursday with the live stream. So take care, everybody, and we will see you next time. Thank you again, Modest, for coming on and representing New Ticker Rumors.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.